The word Bayanihan represents a spirit of civic unity and cooperation among Filipinos. One of its most enduring representations appears in a painting of the same name, which depicts a group of neighbors helping a family relocate by carrying their entire home. This image reflects the deep importance of community in Filipino culture. This documentary honors the enduring spirit of Bayanihan by highlighting Southern California individuals and groups who continue to uplift their communities both locally and in the Philippines. Through their struggles and triumphs, we explore what drives people to care for the kababayan and sustain connections across oceans and generations.
Hi, my name is Helena San Roque. I'm a freelance journalist, but I'm also an outreach lead with LA Kalusugan. Our organization mainly organizes Filipinos in healthcare. We model community care, and we address the social determinants of health, as well as advocating for Filipinos in the Philippines and the US.
Hi y'all, my name is Factora, and I'm the internal chair of SCPASA.
And my name is Camille Jacia, and I am the external chairperson for SCPASA.
SCPASA is the Southern California Filipinx American Student Alliance. We were established in 1983, and we're an alliance of the different Filipino collegiate organizations across Southern California. We're rooted in our 4 pillars of community, advocacy, cultura, and education. And really what we seek to do is to forge bonds between our member organizations, both to create that sense of community, to create that sense of belonging between all of us, but also to unite us all together to do things and actualize a progressive vision that is bigger than any one of our organizations can do on their own.
My name is Arlo Alegre. I'm the Associate Director for the Filipino Migrant Center. We are serving, what we do is we educate, organize, and mobilize low-income, working-class Filipino communities to fight for their rights, whether it's in their workplace, in their neighborhood, whether it's employment, immigration, health, social services. And we also do youth programs. We also have a health program, and we also support other organizations who are doing their own work with the Filipino community.
I joined LA Kalusugan because of my experiences, in my childhood and in college. I actually wanted to be a doctor growing up, but when I was in high school, I really resonated with storytelling and writing, and I eventually was admitted into UCI as a journalism major. And after college, I somehow, that dream of kind of becoming a doctor was still in my mind, even though I knew it wasn't really realistic. I wanted to address the root causes of, why people are sick, why people, go to the hospital. I reached out to LA Kalusugan, and I eventually joined, and here I am today as an outreach lead.
I joined SCPASA because in my alma mater at UC Riverside, I was the community advocacy chairperson, and I wanted to continue advocacy work post-grad. And I thought that SCPASA was a good window and a good starter for me to learn about the advocacy and get more into that space.
And similarly to Camille, I grew a real deep appreciation not only for the role that these organizations have in the social cultural life of Filipino Americans in college, but also as a pathway to politicization for many Filipino Americans. In these orgs, a lot of folks are learning about their culture, their history, their heritage for the first time, as well as the issues that we're facing now as Filipino Americans in the diaspora. And so kind of really owing to that appreciation for the space.
I joined way back in 2020. So there was this initiative alongside the National Alliance for Filipino Concerns called the Bayanihan Community Response. And it was this simple ask. It was, hey, can you bring these groceries from this warehouse all the way to this community member in historic Filipino town? But what's beautiful about it is we also got an education through it. Like, we were not just doing things for the sake of it, but we were also learning the other impacts of COVID to the Filipino communities here in Southern California.
Truly, what motivates me is our SCPASA events. Like, I feel like the benefits concert, like whether it was our Public Basic Relief Benefits concert, whether it was our Historic Filipino Intensive Services, I really do feel like whenever we host events where a lot of us are together, like even like from different parts of SoCal motivates me to not only continue like being in SCPASA, but it truly does it makes me feel really grounded being in this space.
When I get to hear the creativity and the different ideas that our member orgs have, it really drives me to keep going, because what I said before, the purpose of an alliance like SCPASA is to wield together the collective work, the collective ideas of different organizations so they can actualize an impact that is bigger than any one of them can do by themselves.
I go back to what I said before about me wanting to become a doctor, but I think not being able to, because ultimately what happened in my own personal life, my dad was actually diagnosed with like a heart condition, and my dream for a long time was to go to like medical school and find a cure for his like heart condition. But eventually in high school, like he did end up passing away. That's where I kind of found writing and storytelling. That's where I found my comfort. And I think being able to just be in an organization where I can apply my own writing skills and my own like motivations of really trying to help people, because I grew up in like a low-income family. Like, to know that I'm in an organization that's going out of their way and providing like different health checkups and different screenings in a way that also helps people like my dad before.
The beautiful thing about the meeting is it actually brings out the best in all of us, but also at the same time it reveals things that we also maybe are we struggling with. But then what's beautiful is community will also be there for us when we decide to make a change for it. Seeing it right now, honestly, with the Justice for Kaizen campaign, we talk about this Filipino mother who really just posted on Instagram what her son is going through. How she tells the story is, my daughter told me to go to the community, and then now I see what it is, and it's when people have been showing up that we've been meeting new and new people who wants to fight for her son, when she really started that fight.
The roots of Bayanihan come from a pre-colonial tradition where when someone needed to move their house, say for example they live near a river and it was flooding season, they would get their entire village, they would get the bayan, right, the people, to lift up the house together to do something that they couldn't do by themselves and to physically move their house somewhere else, right? In the same way, SCPASA exists as a way to unite our member organizations to undertake action that they couldn't do by themselves.
For me, Bayanihan is really stepping out of your comfort zone, going to people who need the support, calling on others to also join and do the support, and then making sure that like we are there for someone, not only when the problem arises, but also until they are able to solve the problem.
Yeah, Bayanihan means a lot of things. When I go into my memories, Bayanihan is my mom always talking about her patients and in a way that even though she's not related to them, she speaks in a way that makes it seem as she's known them for years. Bayanihan to me is my friends in college helping me with rides, even though we've only known each other for 2 months. Bayanihan is, it's really hard to put into, actual words and descriptions, but when I think about that, all of the people in my life who have helped me, when I was feeling down or when I was in a very low point in my life, and they went out of their way to help me, that's what I think, Bayanihan is.